In this episode of the JSP show, I'll show you a white balance quick tip that's going to speed up your workflow. Hey guys, what's up? It's Johnny here and welcome to another episode of the JSP show. And as always, I'm super pumped to be here and I've got an awesome white balance tip here. It's got to do with presets and white balance, and we'll get into that in a minute. And you can see I got this lovely, cool, late afternoon abstract image here I took a couple of years ago, and it should be a pretty good example for what I want to show you today. But before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys, if you are ready to master your photography, check out this link. It's the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge. There's so much going on over there. We just recently finished our first assignment and we've had the Hangout critique, and it's been a raving success. Over 45 images submitted to the assignment, and I tell you what, so many positive comments and people learning and growing, you know, as a community together over there. So check that out, guys. Check out the link. I'm super pumped about it. I'm in there every day and I just can't stop it. I'm full of lounge love. All right, let's get into this quick tip, guys. All right, so if you don't know already, you can see this is a TIFF file, and you can see down the bottom here, dsc/2951-edit.tiff. So I've obviously had this in Photoshop. I can't remember when I processed this. It's been a while. So I've had this image in Photoshop and it's come back from Photoshop as a TIFF into Lightroom. And say I wanted to go and change the white balance now, but the biggest problem is with a TIFF or a JPEG is there's no embedded white balance profiles. You know, with a NEF file or a RAW file, DNG, or a Canon file, whatever you shoot with, whatever your RAW extension of choice is, you get embedded white balance profiles. So let's have a look on presets, and this is what I mean. So on this TIFF file here, if I go over here to the top of the basic panel and you can see custom, you can see I've got no presets. There's no daylight, there's no cloudy, there's no flash, fluorescent, tungsten, there's nothing there to choose from. And you know, white balance presets in Lightroom particularly are always a great place to start, and white balance is no different to that. So if I jump over here to the NEF file, which is the Nikon RAW format, and you can see, look at all these presets I've got here for my white balance. Okay, so I can click daylight and I can go to tungsten, or I can go to flash, you know, and test out all those different presets and then make adjustments to my white balance as I choose from there. But I've got a little tip that's going to speed things up for you, and it's got to do with presets. So let's jump back over to the TIFF file here, and you can see under my presets panel here on the left-hand side, I've got a WB, a white balance folder that I've created, and I've got the different presets here for the different white balance settings, basically. So I'll show you how to create one of those really quickly. So you do want to go to one of your RAW files, okay, guys? Then I'm going to go up here, and the one I need is daylight. I'm going to select daylight here, and I'm going to go back over to my presets panel here. I'm going to hit the plus button, and I'm just going to call this one daylight. Oh, look at that, got it done. And I'm going to put it in my white balance folder. Now, I'm going to tell Lightroom to check none. So I'm going to uncheck everything, and all I want to check is white balance. That's it. So all this preset is going to do is going to adjust to that daylight preset white balance. So I'm going to hit create, and you can see on the left-hand side there, I've created now the preset for just the daylight white balance, okay? And you might say, oh yeah, that's pretty good, but look, there's two tips here, okay? The first one is, when I'm on my TIFF file now, I can go through and select all the different presets here, and then use that as my starting place for my JPEGs and my TIFFs, which is awesome, okay? That's going to speed up your workflow with your white balance. But the second tip here, and this is where it's going to be also very important. Let's go back to the RAW file. Now, if I wanted to adjust the different presets here in the RAW file, I've got to click in each one, click to the next one and have a look, and click to the next one and have a look until I find one that's pretty close, and then fine-tune my white balance settings after that. But check this out, guys. Look at the navigator at the top here. If I go over to my presets and I hover over top of each one, look what happens. That navigator at the top is giving me a live preview of what my image is going to look like with that preset applied. So it really speeds things up. Instead of clicking into that drop-down menu and selecting a different white balance every time, you can just hover over to the one you want and say it's cloudy as you want, Click on it, and there you go. It's applied. And go ahead and finish processing your image. All right, guys, I hope you like that quick tip. It's going to speed your workflow up with your white balance. Once you get it set up for the first time, it's, man, I love this. I love this little tip, and the navigator's so handy for that preview, particularly the raw files, but man, it's epic for your JPEGs and TIFFs. All right, it's been another epic show this week. Don't forget to go and check out the Share, Inspire, Create Lounge. We've got an awesome deal for you running there at the moment. It's get all these courses for super low cost, and man, I am super pumped. I love that place. It's just in there all the time. It's just epic. People just learning and growing in their photography together. All right, guys, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed this white balance Lightroom quick tip goodness. And this is Johnny out. Peace.